So I want you to be honest with me. How many members of the Avengers are in your phone right now?
One, two.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Iman, it's so good to see you. How are you today?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing so well. I have to tell you, I am going to start out by telling you how much I love this character and I love you in this role. This is like one of my favorite Marvel titles in a very long time. But so much so that I wish that she had shown up in the MCU sooner. So if you could drop this character, Miss Marvel, in any previous great moment from the MCU, from the first Iron Man all the way to today, what is the moment that you would love to drop her in to see how she would have handled herself?
I feel like maybe Far From Home or Homecoming, because those two schools, even in the comics, have been rivals, like Kamala's school and Peter Parker's school. So I feel like that's kind of believable.
How quickly do you think she would have figured out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man? Because I feel like she's very.
I think very quickly. Here's what would have happened: some bad guy would have shown up. Peter Parker would have gotten into Spider-Man suit. Miss Marvel would have gotten into her suit, and then be like, "Wait, were you just?" Yeah, that's how it would.
We need to multiverse this thing and make it happen.
I agree.
I'm so down for this. So there's a really great line of the show. It's not the brown girls who saved the world, but now it is. So I'm sort of curious, beyond how great this show is, it's also obviously a very important show. How different would your childhood have been if you had a show like this, a hero like this to look up to when you were growing up?
I didn't even realize representation was something that was missing in my life. I didn't think I needed it because I didn't know that I could have it until I read those comics when I was 15 and I got it and I was like, my heart felt so full and I was like, you really feel seen, and it sounds so cheesy when I keep saying it, but it's true. And, I felt like those comic books were written about me, and that's how personal, it felt. And so, yeah, I feel like if I got this sooner, it just my self-love journey and just self-acceptance would have happened a lot quicker. But yeah, I'm glad we can at least provide this.
And I love that it's not just like a line in the show. It's like an embedded part of the plot, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
I would imagine that there are 10,000 benefits to being a member of the MCU. But a random one I always thought was interesting is how many guys or girls from the MCU you could randomly talk to if you wanted to. So I want you to be honest with me. How many members of the Avengers are in your phone right now?
One, two.
I'm
not gonna name names.
You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me at least one or two.
Well, Bree and like Simu. Is he an Avenger? I'm gonna count him one.
He is. Yeah. He's fantastic.
Chris. And then a couple. I'm gonna say like 6 or 7.
That's pretty cool.
That's solid.
Now, what are like the rules? Like, can you just randomly text Bree like, "Hey, what are you having for lunch today?" Or does it need to be an actual?
I was thinking that when I first got. I was like, I need to use this only for good. Like it's just, I
great
don't
power,
know.
great responsibility.
Literally, I was like, okay, this is a lot of pressure. So the first time I would like text Bree, I would put it on my notes app first and like write the text out, make sure all the grammar's perfect.
Using the right the right to.
Yeah, and then she would just text back like normally, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, so we're good now.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
As we wrap up, there's a great moment in the second episode where you get to land in a really epic superhero pose. I'm curious, do you get to pick what your superhero pose is? How much do you practice it in advance, and like, do you have it down by now?
I've been practicing my superhero pose for like years, long before this part. But no, it's so much fun because this is like the only show where we can like really be cheesy and embrace the how exciting it would be if any fan became a superhero. Because Kamala's not a fighter. She's just probably copying everything she sees on the internet from the Avengers. So we wanted to like have a lot of Black Widow poses and like cool Captain Marvel poses, and yeah, just make her character as fun as possible and show that she's having fun while being a superhero. And yeah, I think we got it.
You absolutely got it. Everything I've seen about this show so far, I love. I've begged for the episodes past episode 2 and have been told lovingly no. But seriously, I wish I had more Avengers in my phone. But seriously, I love it. And you're absolutely phenomenal in it. I cannot wait to see what else you do. And hopefully we talk many more times in the future.
Thank you so much.
It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
we're going, we don't need roads.